Centuries ago, people would visit theaters in droves to watch plays and performances, whether it be the Kabuki Theater of Japan or Shakespeare in England. All of us have fond memories of theaters. But the building behind me is a theater that's been abandoned for over half a century. Built in February of 1928 on the remains of another theater that burnt down. This is the story of the Majestic. In the early 20th century, East St. Louis was growing at a rapid rate. The city was becoming quite prosperous, with new buildings like the Spivey skyscraper popping up all along its main street. Designed by the Bowler brothers and at a really high cost, the Majestic Theater would finish construction in 1928. Featuring 1,743 seats, on February 26, the theater would open. 2 performances by Al Jolson and George Jessel. The Majestic would be leased to Paramount Pictures, and in September, a Vitaphone would be installed. The Vitaphone was a type of disc system that recorded audio to be played alongside films. Although the audio syncing wasn't always perfect and it took a lot of work to get it right, it was the first time that motion pictures ever had sound. This would revolutionize the business, but it would also revolutionize the Majestic, as it was the only movie theater in the entire area that had what they called at the time the talking pictures. Sometime later, an air conditioning system would be installed, which would also be the first of its kind in the area. A brand new CinemaScope screen was installed in 1954 along with a new projector. In the year 1960, the theater was unable to remain open due to declining ticket sales and the cost of operations. Around the same time, East St. Louis as a whole was beginning to decline. Many shops were closing their doors and many buildings were becoming abandoned. In the 70s, renovations were made to the theater, replacing some of the doors and windows. However, it remained closed. In 1985, the building was added to the National Registry of Historic Buildings. There was some hope in 1998 as a bill was proposed to fund the restoration of the theater. However, it failed to pass and the theater continued to fall into decay. Despite this, there appears to be some efforts being made to prevent the building from completely falling apart. During my visit, all of the entrances had been boarded up by city workers, likely in an attempt to prevent vandalism. The Majestic Theater may be abandoned, and unfortunately it's unlikely that it will be saved. But it's still an important part of the history of East St. Louis, the once bustling town on the other side of the Mississippi River, and it will never be forgotten.
But I'm pig-headed and determined. Somehow I've got this feeling in my brain. If we all together just concentrate hard enough, eventually we're gonna make it rain. I look up at the sky, and I'm searching for the tiniest of clouds. I spot a wispy spot among the glare, and I look down at you, and you're nodding at me now, and we both start to pray the water from the sky. We're begging condensation to rain down from up on high, and we've got nothing left to lose and nothing left to gain, and the people are all staring 'cause they know we're gonna make it rain. I feel a little trickle. At first it's just another drop of sweat, but then it's coming harder before we can say a word. We both are soaking wet. like a dream or a fantasy or something, till we run out of things to do and feel, and we just stand there soaking. And all that we can do is just stand there and remain with our faces to the sky, knowing